You got time for a beer? Welcome to my show. It's Jake. Today is not Thursday. It's Monday evening-ish. The beer I've got today is Perrin Blonde Porter. It says it's a new take on a classic style, creating a light blonde-colored, full-flavored beer. Liquid craftsmanship, ale with chocolate, 5.8% by volume. Perrin's down in Grand Rapids. Well, it says Comstock Park, which is essentially Grand Rapids because that's, or not Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, because that's where, in Comstock Park is where Bell's does their stuff, and they've got things going on. And apparently this week is Bell's celebration of 35 years, which is awesome because they're pretty cool. They do a lot of really good stuff in the community down there, and just in general, their beer is amazing. The Wild One, if you get a chance, I don't think I've seen it anywhere but in Kalamazoo at the Eccentric Cafe. Amazing stuff. Actually, the last time I saw it was actually at the Eccentric Cafe at their 25th anniversary, which I just stumbled upon, which was pretty sweet, with Johnny B. He's a pretty cool dude, also on Untapped. I don't think he does anything else online, but he might. It's been a while since I've talked with him. We're friends on Untapped. Drinking buddies, if you will. I mean, because that's what we were before, really. But we lived together for a while. He's a pretty cool dude. Philosophy professor, someplace out west, if I remember correctly. He was down near Detroit for a little bit, but I think he went out to New Mexico after being out in Colorado for a while. Got his doctorate. Did he get his doctorate? Yeah, doctorate in at Mizzou. Pretty cool dude. Don't get to talk to him much. I'd like to talk to him more, if that's at all possible. Let's see what else this says. Ale with chocolate. Something in yellow. Please recycle. That's what that is. This is pretty fresh. I got this in town, actually. Went to Frank's Supermarket and grabbed this one because we don't sell this one at where I work. So let's get this pouring. I got a new glass here. It's from Hard Rock Cafe Detroit, which I think is not there anymore. Great place to go. Great place to revisit. Better place to revisit, apparently, because apparently Hard Rock Cafe Detroit was the least visited and most revisited when they closed their doors, which is too bad because, Detroit Rock City. You'd think that they'd want to keep that as a thing for as long as they could, but apparently that's not the case. So it's a blonde porter, which means light in color. Should be fairly heavy. 5.8% alcohol by volume is pretty heavy. It's good stuff. Then not too heavy, which is nice. Porter means that it's going to be more heavy, just because of the history of the drink. It was a alcohol imbued by porters in London, so they named it after him. So guys that would take your luggage from one place to another, not necessarily just luggage like at the hotel, but like ships and stuff. The guys that would unload the ships, porters. So there were a bunch of them, especially in London, because that's one of those places where there are a lot of people unloading ships. But they liked their drink strong, apparently. And pub culture in London, big thing. Who knew? So this should be fairly strong. Chocolate, so chocolatey, hopefully. It should be delicious, because I like those beers that are fairly dark and fairly light. Smells like beer. Something like a lot like the Marsden's that I've been drinking recently, the Oktoberfest and whatnot. Smells malty, which is awesome because I like malty beers. They're good. more than, say, actually I got this one because it says it's a porter instead of a juicy IPA, which seems to be everywhere these days. And I like porters. They're delicious. I like other kinds of dark beers, but not many people are making those, which is unfortunate. Because they're probably my favorite. It's supposed to taste like chocolate. It tastes like they used chocolate to bitter it, to be honest. It's good. It tastes like beer, which is great because I like beer. But yeah, it tastes like beer. Maybe, I'd like to say after a few drinks, maybe it would taste more like chocolate, but my guess is that that's not true. Because if you follow me on Instagram or Twitter, you would know. I've been drinking pretty much all day long today. I've had 6, 7 beers today. Lots and lots. And they're delicious, all of them. A couple of the Hofbrau ones. Mead. XP Sizer. Tastes like apple pie. Delicious. You can find it. They got it up at Opperman's. If you're looking for it. I don't remember who exactly makes it. Some eatery someplace, but I don't remember which one. Yeah, tastes like beer. It's amazing. Love it. Specifically, those Marsens, the Oktoberfest beers. It tastes heavy on malt, probably because of the chocolate that I'm getting from it, would be my guess. Not necessarily because of the malt that's in it, but because the bitterness from the chocolate and the mouthfeel from the chocolate makes it taste like malt. Let's see, do I have a story for you? I probably do. It's not one that I was thinking of when I was thinking of this beer specifically. I don't think. What story do I have to tell about this? About a beer that this reminds me of. I went disc golfing today. It was amazing. Lots of wandering around in my backyard. Bright, sunshiny day, which is amazing. Thursday, I was thinking that maybe I would go and do that same thing, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. Super happy I got to go out today because I could have on my jeans and my muck boots because my backyard is wet, but still super green and open, and awesome. But Thursday it's supposed to be kind of rainy and crappy. Let's see, what else do I have for you? There are a lot of things I was thinking about today. Different people that I've hung out with. Young ladies that I've thought that I've loved. Oh, I talked to somebody on Tinder today, and they were complaining about homework. I don't know how many of you know about this, but a way that the tubas at Central, back when I was there, used to think about their homework is a lot different than other people would think about their homework. Now, this young lady was not thinking about homework in the way that I was thinking of homework. She's actually going to school, which the tuba players that I was there with were actually going to school also. But these tuba players, see, they worked at the front desk at Merrill Hall, and they couldn't talk about masturbation in front of everybody. It's crude. Don't do that. Don't talk about masturbation in front of everybody. But if you talk about homework in front of everybody, nobody bats an eye. And if you're listening for it, it makes other conversations so much better. I mean, if you're, I mean, at that point in time, I had already had sex class, which is colloquial for the introduction to human sexuality at Central. But sex class, I had that, and we talked about masturbation in class, and it was part of class, sort of like not do it but study it, which is fine. But they decided that instead of calling masturbation homework, they would talk about it, or instead of calling masturbation, they would call masturbation homework, and then they would be able to talk about it at the front desk, and nobody would bat an eye about talking about homework at the Merrill front desk. So things like, where's the strangest place you've ever done homework? How do you feel about drinking while doing homework? What else? I do my homework 5 or 6 times a day. Is that too many? It makes conversations about doing schoolwork that much more funny, which we used to talk about schoolwork as opposed to homework when we were tubas, because, well, they're two very different things at some point in time. I explained this to her. I haven't gotten anything back yet, but I'm not too worried about that. I didn't get anything back from her with the first note that I left for like 3 or 4 days. So not worried about this one. I was kind of hoping for something back, like even an LOL. She's not technically my type, but she's super interesting, and I'd like to get to know her better, if that makes any sense. So hopefully she sends something back, because she was drowning in homework. Her words, not mine. Homework was crushing her soul, which made me smile for sure, because, homework crushing your soul for me is hilarious. For her, I'm sure, just plain soul crushing. But hopefully, after my story that I gave her, she will also find it amusing at the very least, her homework. There's a little bit of chocolate, like back here. It's not like super dark chocolate or anything. It's a lot more like Hershey's chocolate, which is not like the chocolate that I like. I like dark chocolate. It should be chocolatey if it's chocolate, which is tough to do in a beer, especially a blonde, because it's got to be so much darker for it to taste like chocolate, like that kind of chocolate in a beer, because you have to sweeten it up so much. I suppose they probably, I don't think, it doesn't say that they put lactose in this anywhere on the can. They may have. It's a possibility. Crud. Let's see if I can get back to that. That'd be great. There we are. Yeah, it'd be a great thing if they could make it taste like the chocolate that I like, but this is good. It's not what I was hoping for, but nice enough. One more drink, bartender. Don't forget, you can follow me on Untapped, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I'm not on it as much, but I do also have Snapchat. All at @TubaJake_69. That's me. I'm hoping that eventually I can put out a podcast. That'd be super awesome. But I need money for a microphone first, so I'm saving up for one of those nice Blue Yeti things. I think that's what it is. I think it's Blue Yeti, not Blue Buffalo. Yeah, pretty sure Blue Yeti microphones, so that I can set it right here behind my little sign. Maybe right here in my little head that I'm painting right now. Hopefully this will be one of those super cool candy skulls that I got the big plastic thing from not too long ago, 2 years, I think. And it'll be a very cool looking candy skull that I will paint here eventually. I got a little bit of crap to get off the top, which is why it doesn't have a top right now. Because it'll look dumb as a candy skull without a top. So we'll wait on it until it... Wait on finishing it up until that gets done. So, Untapped YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat if you like, but you don't have to do that. TubaJake_69. I got a quote for you since this is done. Something funny, kind of, from Steve Martin. Great guy. Steve Martin says, I believe that sex is one of the most beautiful, natural, wholesome things that money can buy. Such a great guy. Such a good comedian. Amazing. I love that guy. And I think that's funny because sex is one of the most beautiful, natural, wholesome things. But also, you know, there are people out there that will sell it, and there are people out there that will buy it for the right price. For the right price. All right, so I will see you next time when you got time for a beer.